everybody, it's Sam at Mixed Up Craft. Thanks for watching my tutorial today. I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cute beetles and bugs specimen box, which is full of chocolate little bugs. Picked them up from Lidl, and I think there were, how many have I got here? 6, 12, 18. So there was 8. Yeah, 8 in a bag. I got 2 bags for 79p. So really, really good value for money, and they do taste nice as well. Because sometimes I don't know, I've bought cheap chocolates and they taste awful, but these are some Belgian brand, some European branded chocolates. So very, very nice. But I wanted to do something that was not all the typical Easter colours, and just very, very different, and I think there's lots of little boys and little girls out there that would love something like this. So I've got a friend in mind who I'm going to give these to for her little boys, and hopefully they'll really like them. So I've used the Beetles and Bugs Stamping Up stamp set, so it's this one here, which is really fun. You have to kind of build them up, so they're all numbered next to the stamps inside, so it's easy for you to know which ones go with which, and then you just kind of build them up with your different stamping. So for example, that one there, that's 3 stamps. So it's the big base piece, then the blue colour is stamped, and then the polka dot kind of little red dots there, that's a separate piece. So I've used the ladybird, which is the little one there. I've used the big one, which is the green one, and I've used him, the bug there, the beetle, which is those 3. You can add the antennas. I didn't add them onto him. You don't have to have them, so I've done him as a beetle. And these, I think you can add to any of them. They don't actually have a number, but it's just harder to cut around because you do have to free cut these with your snips. So, and then this one here is just this little bug. So really, I love this stamp set. You don't see it used a great deal, but I think it's really fun and very much my style. And then for the Happy Easter sentiment, I used the Labeler Alphabet stamp set, which again is really brilliant. I love this. It's so easy to put together, and you get 2 lots of the letterings. So you get 101 stamps in that one, so it's a really, really good purchase as well. So highly recommend those 2 stamps, especially if you want to do this project. You'll need a piece of acetate, and then some paper for the back. So I've got this old Stamping Up paper stack stacked with love. So you wouldn't really think that that's what you would put with this, but on the reverse of a lot of these, they have real block colours, black and white, sorry, monochrome. So they've been, you know, you could use that one in this one. You've got the heart ones there, obviously. You've got stripes. This one here, which is what I used, which is on the back of that polka dot one. So both sides are lovely. But I'm going to use for the second box, I've got a different stripe, which I think I might use, possibly I'm using the last one, so I'll show you that one now anyway. So that one's stacked with love, if you do have that. So you're going to need, let me just grab the bits here, and I'll just move that to the other side. So to make this box, you need 2 pieces of black card measuring 10 1/8 of an inch by 8 inches. And you, like I said, you need 2 pieces of those. And then this is what I'm using for the base. It's got those hearts on the back. Because this is already pre-cut, I'll just quickly measure this one for you. This one measures 6.5 by 4.5. So don't worry if you don't have this, and you can use any colour, any pattern you want. But I thought the monochrome worked really well with the black card that I'm using, and also the sentiment there with the black and white. So that's why I opted for that. So yeah, so if you do want to add a piece into the base there, it's 6.5 by 4.5. And then you need a piece of acetate, which is 5 inches by 7 inches. And then you just need whatever it is that you want to decorate. So obviously this box has got the little detail on the side here, so it just makes it easy to open and close, and they all don't fall out. They're all stuck down with a little glue dot, so easily put that down, easy to you know, deliver, move around and stuff, they're not going to fall about. So that was the acetate 5x7, this piece, and then yeah, the decoration. So I've just cut all mine out and put little dimensionals on the back so they're all lifted off of the card at the end. Okay, so pop all of that to one side. Try not to lose those little tiny ladybirds. Move that out of the way there. Pop the acetate somewhere where I can see it, so I'll pop that there, although I probably will say in a minute, right, where's my acetate gone? And then just take one of the 10 1/8 by 8 inch cardstock, and we're going to do a little bit of scoring. So scoring along the 8 inch side, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inches, 6.5 inches, and 7 1/4 of an inch. So this box is all reinforced, so that's what these pieces are here. This inner one is your side, and then this will be the piece folded over the top to reinforce it. And then scoring along the 10 1/8 of an inch side, again you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inches, 8 5/8 of an inch, and 9 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so that's what you want to have at this stage. So we get all of those sides burnished and stuck together. So just grab your bone tool and just carefully fold in all those sides. So I've done this a similar box before, and it's exactly the same as previous boxes whenever you do the reinforced style. Okay, so once you've done all those edges, you just want to grab your scissors and have one of the 8 inch sides facing you. You're just going to cut up past that first score line down to that second score line, and then again past that first score line down to the second. Just rotate it and cut that piece out, and then cut that piece off there. So basically what you want is this tab, and that's what we're going to use to start sticking it all together. And then just shear off the top piece there, and again shear off a piece there, and it just makes it easier to fold in, and that one there as well. So just repeat that on this side. So again, cut down all the way down to that second score line, and then again down to that second score line, cut that one out, and yeah, cut that one out. Oh no, cut all of that one out. I thought, what have I done wrong there? There we go. So again, just shear off these edges. Like so, and then rotate it all the way around so you have the other 8 inch side facing you, and again cut down those two. Just by shearing off these side pieces, it just means you get a nicer finish. So when you fold all the pieces in, you get a really nice sharp edge when you burnish it all, and it just means it sits better when it's closed. So there you go. So you should have 2 tabs at this end and 2 tabs at this end. Okay, just let me get rid of all of this. And then what you will need is some of your fuse, or if you've got red tape, or you can use tacky glue. If you use tacky glue, make sure you don't get any of it bleeding out, because if you have any of it bleeding out, because it does remain tacky, it will just catch the lid when you close the lid on it, and I've done that on other projects before. Although it's okay, but it just means you don't get that nice open and close with the boxes. So I am going to use the Tombow, but just make sure that you don't go really, really close to the edges there. And this is nearly running out, so I haven't got much left. So you can see there, just a little bit, because what's going to happen is you're going to once you reinforce it by folding these bits over, that's going to really secure it anyway, so you don't need to worry too much about going crazy with your glue or anything on these side panels. And again, just that one there. And this stuff, you know, sticks really quickly, so you don't need to spend too much time. Okay, so once you're happy and they're all secure, then what you can do is just again get your tacky glue, and you just want to pop it on this outer panel, just like so. Again, you don't need to go too mad, because in a minute we're going to squash down the sides with our bone tool, so you just want to hold them in place so that they've stuck, and then we'll go round in a second and really push them all down. Okay, so that's how you want it to be looking, and then just grab your bone tool and just go over and really work and push down all those panels, and just really burnish these edges here so you get a really sharp side to that box. And by doing all this, it just helps when you make the lid, and you'll get a really nice open and close when you take that lid on and off. There we go. Okay, so just leave that to one side, and then if you grab that base piece of DSP, if you've got it, you don't have to have it, but I just thought it made the animals stand out more. You might not want to use black, so it doesn't fit perfectly, but that was why. I mean, for one, obviously that pack, that is the size that it is, but I, you know, because it's black and white anyway, it worked really well. So if you do want it to fit exact, then you will have to change those measurements. So I'm just going to grab a piece of double-sided tape. So just kind of roughly lie that in place. There we go. And then while I'm here, I'm going to get all of my chocolates down as well. So I've got him in the green, put a pink one there, have a blue there, blue up there, green, and that one. So I've got a bit of a variety. So if you just kind of sit them all so they're even, it just makes it easier then when you stick each one down. So I'm just gonna, just got some roll of glue dots, and just cut one off at a time. And these ones have got that black on the back, and just scratch it with the top of your nail, and once it all goes white, then you know that that glue dot is stuck completely onto the surface that you want it to be on. And then you can just, I can't seem to pick it up, and it comes off perfectly. And then you can just sit that one back in its new home. There we go. So just repeat that process for all of your little bugs. Okay, so there we go. I've put all those stuck down now. So that's the base all done. So all we've got to do is finish the lid. So pop that to one side. Okay, so grab your other piece of 10 1/8 of an inch by 8 inch cardstock and grab your scoreboard, and we're doing exactly the same scoring as we did before. So first of all, make sure you've got your 8 inch side along the top here. And what you want to do, so put it right up into the corner and then just bring it out slightly so it's just coming up to that 1/8 of an inch notch. Okay, and then we're just going to continue scoring. So you're going to do your 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2, and then push it back in so it's completely flush back in that corner again, and then do the 6 1/2 and the 7 1/4. And basically just by bringing it out a little bit, that allows you to get that perfect fit when you put the lid on top of the box. Okay, so rotate your card onto your 10 1/8 side, and again bring it out slightly. Okay, and you're going to do 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2, and then put it back in again. Make sure you do that. Where am I? 8 5/8 of an inch and 9 3/8. Okay, so exactly the same, but it will be ever so slightly that almost 1/8 of an inch wider across both sides there, so it sits nicely on top of your box. So you can get rid of your scoreboard now. Sorry, I'm just going to grab a quick drink before it gets freezing cold. Pop that there. Okay, so we need to now make our frame for the acetate to sit inside. So if you have a rectangle die that is big enough, it doesn't have to be as big as I've done it, I guess. You could have it a bit smaller, but the whole point of this is the specimen box, so it's meant to look like they're on show, on display. So if you've got one large enough, perfect, use that, whiz it through your big shot, you're done. I haven't, so I am using my trimmer, and basically what I found the easiest to do, and I've done this a few times, is I'm going to score out the frame first, and then I'm going to use the trimmer and use those score lines as a guide, and then cut the frame out itself. Or if you don't have that, or you don't feel confident doing that, you just make a hole in the middle here and then just cut out, giving yourself a 1/4 of an inch frame. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do it with the trimmer. So basically, this these two score lines here, the score line that's you know, the one that's on the inside, just line that up with your 3-inch score line here. Now, using the thinner end of your any score tool that you have, just make sure you've got the smaller end. You don't want to actually rip the card, but you just want to do a small score line. You don't want a big score line. So you've got the 3 inches, then go up to 3 1/4. Just hover your tool down past that first score line, down to that second score line, and then come in roughly 1/4 of an inch. So just gauge it, just roughly, and then score all the way down, leaving yourself, again, just bring it into the frame there. So you've got a little 1/4 of an inch gap there, just like I've got a 1/4 of an inch gap there. Then rotate, line up that inner score line with the 3 inches, and again go to 3 1/4, hover, bring it down, and it should meet nicely with that point, and then again score down, leaving yourself that 1/4 of an inch. Don't go right to that score line. Rotate again up to the 3 inches, 1 and then 3 1/4, come down to that point again, score down, and then rotate again 3 1/4. And basically what you've done is you've scored yourself an inner frame. So you can see here, this frame here, all the way down. And that's what you want. And then basically now I'm going to cut that out using those as my gauge. So what I want to do, you can grab a ruler or anything, I'm just using my bone tool here, is line it up along that score line that you've just made, and then make sure that is in line with where your trimmer, so I know my trimmer, is that focused in there? Yeah. This is where it starts to cut here, so I want this line, and obviously it doesn't meet up there, so I'm just using this to help me gauge. I've got that exactly where I want it, so I know there. And then just literally lie it down and cut that out, like so. And that's what you will have there. Okay, so then rotate it round. Again, just line it up. Like so. Don't worry if it doesn't meet completely, because you can get your snips and just help it along when we come to take it out. Like that. And this is also a good thing to do if you're ever wanting to make your own frames for photos, mounts. Just the same process as I'm doing here. Just find out the size of your picture and the size of the frame that you want, and then just go from there. So there we go, that will do. Now my trimming blade is on its way out, so I've got a few fluffy edges here which I will tidy up in a minute. So that one there, I'm just going to help it along. I'd rather not go right up to it and you know, trim this last bit out myself, rather than opposed to obviously go and make a line, a score line, sorry, a cut line that's too long and it goes past that corner, because you would see that. So I'm just literally, should be using my snips for this, but it's okay. And then that one just pops out. So you can see there I've got a few fluffy edges. So I'm just gonna just trim those off quickly. There we go. So, sorry, just going to have another drink again. Okay, so now we need to apply the acetate. So, if you flip it over, I'm going to use my very thin red super sticky tape that I've got here. So any thin tape that you've got, or tacky glue, but make sure, what I would do is if you're using tacky glue is apply it and then leave it for a while to go really tacky, and then apply the acetate, because you don't want any of the glue bleeding through, making it visible on the front, because it's just going to ruin the look of your box. Fuse wouldn't be any good because the frame size is only that about a quarter of an inch. So most fuses are bigger than, they're wider than a quarter of an inch. So if you've got one that's thinner, then fine. That could work. But I find that this thin tape is perfect. And I always get mine from the same guy on eBay, and I buy in bulk. Because he seems to have, I think, the best deal that I've found. The more you buy, the more discount you get off, so it seems to work well. I'll share the link on my blog post for this. Okay, so just remove all the tape. Oh, my stomach's rumbling. Okay, I'll give that a wipe again in a minute. So just lie your acetate, start from the top end there, and then just bring it down. You just want it to cover all of that, like so. And there you go, you can see finish there. Okay, so now you can burnish all your edges, so just be careful folding it up against the acetate. Okay, and then cutting exactly the same way as we did before, so with that 8-inch side facing you, just to that, start with the 2 score lines that you've got there, just go down to the second score line and cut that one out, and then cut that top one off along that score line, so you've got that tab again, like so. So again, just cut all the way down to that second score line. And then just notch out these sides. That one and that one. And then rotate all the way around to the other 8-inch sides again by you, and just cut down again to that second score line. Like so. And then final one. There we go. And again, just get rid of all of this. Okay. And then we just want to stick it all together again. So just grab your glue. I'm just starting with the tabs again. Okay, and there's our lid. Just pinch the top along the sides there, just to help it get its shape again. Right, where's my lid? So now we just need to pop on our sentiment and all the little bugs and stuff. So this is how I've done it, but you can do it any way you like. Like I said, if you're not using it with the bugs, I've already stuck all mine in their little place there, so I'm just gonna pop this one down on top like so, and then pop this one, put that one there, and I've got Ladybird there, and then another one there. I'll give that a wipe again in a minute because I've got it covered with my sticky fingerprints. And there you have it. So grab your base, and then your lid will just fit on really nice and snug. Oh, I forgot. We need to add our little, oh, grab my hole punch. These bits here, if you can see the little semicircle? Just need to add them. Don't worry if you haven't got anything. This is a balloon punch. Because you can see here it's quite close to the actual edge of the punch itself, whereas the other circles I've got, there's a bigger gap of like plastic here. So this one fits. I'll show you. Do I have it the right way then? Yeah. So you can see, if I put that one in, you can see how far in it gives you that nice perfect little semicircle. So I'm just going to hold that one in the middle, just by eye roughly, and then pop it out like so, and you can see there. And I'm just going to do that again on this side, just roughly by eye. Like I said, this isn't a complete, like, necessary, oh, sorry, hang on, bit to do, but it does just help you a bit. You would have just done it just before you put the bugs on, so don't worry too much. And then again, that just sits on. I need to rub that. I've got a bit of glue on my finger and I just caught it on the top, but there you go. Really, really lovely. They're really fun. I'm really super pleased with how these have turned out. And I hope you all agree. If you do, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my designs and ideas, then please subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching. Bye.